Good morning once again. We are starting the technical session, catalyzing growth through export trade felicitations. With me, Mr. SBS Reddy, ITS Regional Joint DGFT Hyderabad, Mr. A. Subramaniam, DGM Exim Bank Hyderabad, Mr. Gaurav Ansuman, AGM and Branch Manager, Export Business Branch, ECGC Limited. I welcome dignitaries from the government, colleagues from the industry, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Exim Conclave post-inauguration first technical session focusing on trade felicitation. This year, the trade growth has reduced to 2.8%. The world trade growth has reduced from 2.8% from 3.3% as forecasted earlier by WTO. The estimate for 2016 is also reduced by 0.10% to 3.9%. The last 20 years have confirmed that world gross domestic product (GDP) and world merchandise export move in tandem, but exports growth is much more volatile than GDP growth. Hence, it is important to facilitate exports and imports to reduce the volatility in its growth. Exports have come to be regarded as an engine for economic growth in the wake of liberalization and structural reforms in the economy. A sustained growth in export is, however, not possible in the absence of proper and adequate infrastructure, as adequate and reliable infrastructure is essential to facilitate unhindered production, cut down the cost of production, and make our exports internationally competitive. While the responsibility for promotion of exports and creating necessary specialized infrastructure has largely been undertaken by central government so far, it is increasingly felt that the state government and the industry have to play an equally important role in the endeavor. The role of state governments is critical from the point of view of boosting production of exportable surplus, providing the infrastructure facilities such as land, power, water, roads, connectivity, pollution control measures, and a conducive regulatory environment for production of goods and services. It is therefore felt that coordinated efforts by the central government in cooperation with the state government and the industry are necessary for the development of infrastructure for export promotion. I would like to give my own small presentation of our group. As far as our own company is concerned, we are a GTN group having interest in cotton yarn, knitted fabrics, garments, and engineering exports. We have been exporting more than 50% of our products to all the countries in the world. In engineering, we are in oil and gas field where we are exporting to an American company, and they are in turn exporting to all other countries in the world. Earlier, these products were made by them, but because of the high cost of labor and cost of production, they shifted the production by transfer of technology to us, and we have succeeded in making the products as per their requirements. It shows that there is a great potential, and if we make efforts, everything is possible. We have the capability to learn, provided we make efforts. If you take, for example, if you take IT industry, it was in 2000 it was nothing, and today within a span of 15 years, I believe that the export is to the extent of $110 billion. Now, as a company, we are entering into aerospace and defense, and as you are aware that the new government has a lot of focus on Make in India. There are three reasons. One is that so far there has been a lot of imports in these products, and the government did not focus to give emphasis to make it in India, but now there is a lot of focus. Whatever imports are there for defense, there is an offset clause of 30% that these companies have to produce 30% in India or through India, but so far it was not happening, but I believe now it has to happen. Apart from that, we believe that India as a country can export a lot of products in aerospace and defense, and the information is that in next century, it will be the century for defense exports. A lot of engineering, software engineering is being done in Hyderabad itself for all the engines of aircrafts and so many other things. So we believe that there is a lot of scope, and one has to focus. You will see even today that there is a first page, in the first page of most of the newspapers, there is half page ad by a Boeing company. So many times it has come, even today it is come, that we are making a very critical part of Dreamliner in India. So it shows that why they are advertising in India. The very fact is that means this, they are trying to say that yes, India has the capacity, India has the knowledge, and India can do it. It's a question of time. China is becoming very, very expensive as far as the labor cost is concerned, and gradually in low value products, China will move out. What was China in last 10 years is not going to be the same in the next 5 years or 10 years. Because of the one child policy, there is a shortage of labor and the cost is very, very high. A normal Chinese labor today is not less than $600 to $700. So I believe that there is a great scope for India to enter into this gap. One has to work hard for it. So I therefore feel that there is a scope for export of many items, provided we absorb the technology and showcase ourselves in the world market. Today we have with us some of the key officials who will facilitate the industry on international linkages. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. SBS Reddy, the Regional Joint DGFT. I would like to give a brief introduction before he starts. Mr. Reddy belongs to Indian Trade Service in 1989 batch. He did his master's degree in physics before he got into civil services. He worked in Mumbai, Chennai, DGFT, New Delhi and Pune. During 95-97, he worked in Customs House, Mumbai as designated authority for passbook scheme. The scheme is later evolved into present day DPB scheme. Before coming to Pune, he worked in Multilateral Economic Relations Division of Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi. In the Ministry of, he handled works related to free trade agreements, WTO, UNCTAD, WIPO, etc. He undergone 3 months attachments with WTO and is well versed with theoretical and practical application of WTO agreements and related aspects. So I would request him to give his presentation. I will welcome him and ask him to give his presentation. Thank you.